So, I just completed Timesplitters Future Perfect. What do I think about it? The game is still playable today if a little aged. The graphics, gameplay and story have all aged, but not by much. It feels like an indie game and not a AAA game, since that's what it was in the past. But it's still playable. But let's get on to the main point. Let's start off with gameplay. Out of all the things about the gameplay is the one that has changed the least. But the lack of a running mechanic and iron sights makes it harder to play for the newer shooters these days. But it still makes them all good fun. The controls are as tight as ever, but the weapon cycle system is the one of the things that has aged the most. Unlike pressing one button to change your weapons, you have to use the arrow keys, and that can be unwieldy at times, just like when I tried to take out these robots with an electro tool. You can see me dashing between the different weapons to try and find it. The AI can be a little dumb at times, and it is quite basic. It's more of the run and gun shooter kind rather than a full tactical kind, which is what it tries to do sometimes. Not always a good thing. The weapons are all unique and fit the time periods perfectly, but the pistols, excluding the sci-fi pistol, tend to be the same. The only thing that's different is the magazine sizes. Other than that, they're all semi-automatic with the silent scopes. But the rest of them fit the time period to a T. But there does seem to be a contradiction. In Timesplitters 2, and don't worry, I will get to that game later. Anyway, in the level Neo Tokyo, you get the sci-fi pistol, but in Future Perfect on the break and entering level, you don't get it, despite it being set years after the Neo Tokyo level. This is not the only problem that I have. During Machine Wars, you get the same weapons as you do in the first level, and that makes no sense. Humans advance, so even if they use the same tech, the style would be different. But other than that, they're still fun to play with. The story, this is gonna be fun, however, can be quite cheesy at times with the time to split and a few others. But it can also be contradictory. Most notable, the wormhole in the second level, and when Tipper talks about the missile. In any time travel game, TV or film, you need to establish the rules of time travel. Otherwise, you get a very convoluted story and it gets very confusing very fast. In the second level, Cortez goes through a wormhole, but there is no explanation as to why you cannot go back through the door and go after Crow. This kind of ruined the stories for me because it doesn't make sense. Other than a few jokes, I can say that the story has aged the most. Now we move on to multiplayer, and since I can only really talk about this with Billy no mates, it's not fun without friends, to be honest. It's quite boring, but there are different gameplay modes that can be fun. You got the basic ones like Capture the Bag, Team Deathmatch, but then you got ones like Flame Tag and Assault. You can play with the AI at different level settings, but given how they are not that good, you'll get bored quite quickly, which is where the challenge and arcade mode comes in. Unlike the other parts of the game, challenge mode is all about doing challenges that divert from the normal gameplay, like smashing glasses to get unlocks for the multiplayer character roster. However, arcade is similar to what you would expect. There are 3 leagues here, each with different difficulty, and you have to finish them to get new unlocks for the character roster. But then there's the map maker. This one is just dull. I'm sorry, I can't really say anything about it. It's just dull. You can play with already made maps, or you can make your own and play with them, but the items are limited in such a way that it gets dull very fast. But all in all, it's a good game. Well worth the play every now and again, but unfortunately there is no plans for a remake or remaster on any of the current gen consoles. But there is something to look forward to. Now I'm not sponsored by this group in any kind of way, but they are worth a mention. There is a part-time project called Timesplitters Rewind, which intends to bring back both 2 and Future Perfect back to the modern age. Now you can go support them, the link is in the description. Other than that, Crytek has not announced any kind of plans to remake the series or renew it, which is sad, to be honest. I really look forward to the day when we can play Timesplitters on the newer consoles. So, until then, this is all we have to do. Overall, despite the age of the game, it's pretty decent to play, even today. But if you want to play with it on multiplayer, play with some friends. I'm pretty sure they still have LAN parties somewhere, so do that. But overall, I'm giving it a 6.5. It still holds up today, even despite the aging. So, until next time, my name is Eclipse Phoenix, signing out.